Have you ever noticed how the first 5 minutes after waking determine whether your day spirals into stress or flows with effortless vitality? What if I told you that these precious moments after opening your eyes could extend your life by 5, 10, even 30 more years, not through expensive medications or invasive procedures, but through simple habits backed by both ancient wisdom and cutting-edge science? And what would happen if you discovered that the morning ritual practiced by Shaolin monks for centuries could become your personal blueprint for aging with strength, clarity, and grace long after 65? You will not believe this, but what if I told you that the key to unlocking deep, restorative sleep, the kind that leaves you waking up refreshed and clear-headed, doesn't involve a single pill, an expensive gadget, or a complicated nightly ritual? Imagine for a moment that thousands of older adults are right now drifting off into blissful slumber simply by tapping on 3 specific points on their body each night. This isn't some fleeting social media trend or a baseless trick designed to grab your attention. It's a remarkably simple, yet profoundly effective method that is genuinely transforming the lives of seniors across the world. Why is this technique gaining such momentum within the senior community? Because not only is it almost laughably easy to implement, but the results it delivers are nothing short of astonishing. We're talking about a completely natural approach to significantly improve sleep quality, diminish those persistent headaches that have plagued you for years, soothe the anxiety that often accompanies aging, and restore that mental clarity you may have thought was lost forever, all within just a few minutes before your head even touches the pillow. The truly extraordinary aspect of this technique lies in its incredible accessibility. It requires no medication whatsoever, involves absolutely no invasive procedures, and costs precisely nothing to practice. Yet remarkably, its benefits are being acknowledged not only by masters of traditional healing practices, but increasingly by modern medical professionals who are witnessing its effects firsthand in their patients. If you've ever found yourself tossing and turning through the seemingly endless hours of the night, if you've awakened feeling more exhausted than when you went to bed, or if your days have become shrouded in a persistent mental fog that refuses to lift, then you absolutely cannot afford to miss what I'm about to share. Prepare to discover a secret that could completely transform your nights and, by natural extension, revolutionize your days as the years gracefully advance. Particularly once we cross that significant threshold of 60, our bodies begin to navigate through a series of subtle yet increasingly impactful transformations. These changes, while representing a natural progression of life, often wage a quiet but relentless war on our quality of life, with our sleep patterns frequently becoming the first and most noticeable casualty. Many find that the once simple act of falling asleep transforms into a nightly challenge of epic proportions. They might drift off initially, only to find themselves wide awake at 2 a.m., their minds racing with thoughts that seem impossible to quiet, utterly unable to recapture that elusive slumber they so desperately need, even when they manage to remain in bed for the recommended 7 to 8 hours. Morning often brings that all too familiar sense of profound fatigue, a mental drain that colors every interaction throughout the day, and a physical sluggishness that proves stubbornly resistant to even the strongest coffee. After enduring enough nights caught in this frustrating cycle, sleep, once the sweetest reward awaiting us at the end of a long day, can tragically become a dreaded nightly struggle, something approached with anxiety rather than anticipation. It's remarkably easy to fall into the trap of believing this deterioration is simply an inevitable consequence of getting older, a resigned acceptance of a lesser state of being that comes with advancing years. But the truth about sleep quality in our later years is far more nuanced and, thankfully, significantly more hopeful than many realize. Deep, steady, and truly restful sleep doesn't simply vanish without specific reasons. It's typically disrupted by identifiable physiological shifts that we can learn to address and manage effectively. As we age, our bodies naturally produce less melatonin, that cornerstone hormone responsible for orchestrating our sleep-wake cycles with precision. Additionally, our internal clock, the sophisticated circadian rhythm that has guided us throughout our lives, can become increasingly disoriented by changing lifestyles, medications, and even shifting exposure to natural light. Furthermore, the sympathetic nervous system, responsible for triggering our fight or flight response, might remain stubbornly active even during times when we're desperately trying to wind down, making it incredibly difficult for the body to achieve that state of profound relaxation necessary for quality sleep. Layer onto these biological changes the common worries about health that accompany aging, the complex management of chronic conditions that many seniors face, and a generally slower metabolism, and you begin to see how these factors can collectively build an invisible but formidable wall, effectively blocking the return of natural, rejuvenating sleep patterns. In a marketplace saturated with solutions for sleeplessness, from prescription sleeping pills with their concerning side effects and specialized breathing machines with their cumbersome setups to an endless array of herbal teas and supplements making grand promises, there exists an incredibly straightforward method that consistently delivers surprisingly potent results. This is the 3-point tapping technique I mentioned earlier. Imagine achieving profound relaxation and inviting deep, restorative sleep with just a few dedicated minutes each night, requiring no medication, no cumbersome machines, and relying solely on your body's remarkable innate ability to self-regulate and find balance when given the proper signals. This elegant technique thoughtfully blends the ancient wisdom of traditional medicine with illuminating insights from modern neuroscience. Focusing on gentle, rhythmic tapping on 3 key areas: the forehead, the temples, and the back of the neck. These specific locations aren't chosen randomly or arbitrarily. They are strategically selected because they're intricately connected to your central nervous system through complex networks of nerves and energy pathways. When stimulated correctly through gentle, intentional tapping, these points work harmoniously to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your autonomic nervous system responsible for the rest and digest functions. The very opposite of the stress-induced fight or flight response that keeps so many seniors awake at night. As this restorative system becomes engaged through the tapping sequence, your heart rate naturally begins to slow to a more restful pace. Your muscles progressively loosen and release accumulated tension. Your mind gradually quiets its incessant chatter about tomorrow's worries, and crucial neurochemicals like serotonin are released in calming waves throughout your brain and body. Serotonin, in turn, serves as a vital precursor to melatonin, effectively paving the way for your body to naturally drift into a deep, restorative, and truly satisfying sleep state. So where exactly are these seemingly magical points located? How do you perform the tapping correctly to maximize its sleep-enhancing benefits? And why do these 3 specific areas hold such a powerful influence over your sleep quality and overall well-being? Let's delve into both the practical application and the fascinating science behind this simple yet potentially life-changing practice. This is where we get to the heart of the matter, the practical steps that allow you to apply this simple yet highly effective method to foster deeper and more natural sleep patterns. Each of these carefully selected tapping points serves a unique function, activating specific and beneficial responses within your nervous and circulatory systems. Together, they create a harmonious symphony of calming signals that help your body unwind, release the day's accumulated stress, and properly prepare for a full night of truly rejuvenating rest. The first of these critical points is located at the center of the forehead. This area, often referred to as the third eye in various healing traditions, is one of the most neurologically sensitive regions of the face, remarkably rich in nerve connections. It's positioned just above the point nestled between your eyebrows, approximately 1 to 1¼ inches, about 2 to 3 centimeters, upward from that natural indentation. This isn't just an arbitrary spot on your skin, it's intimately linked to the prefrontal cortex, that sophisticated area of your brain responsible for high-level thinking, complex analysis, and the processing of emotions. Especially for older adults, this part of the brain can often remain stubbornly overactive at night, replaying the day's events, churning through worries about health or family, and making it incredibly difficult for the body to relax and transition into the sleep state it so desperately needs. Applying a light, rhythmic tapping to this spot before bedtime acts almost like pressing a gentle pause button for your mind. When performed slowly and steadily, this isn't merely a mechanical action. It becomes a potent way to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's natural relaxation and recovery command center. Interestingly, this forehead point also corresponds to what traditional Chinese medicine practitioners have called the yin-tang acupressure point, a location that has been utilized for centuries to treat insomnia, alleviate anxiety, and release deep-seated tension that prevents proper rest. Now, let's explore how to properly activate this powerful point for maximum benefit. The method itself is wonderfully simple and accessible for people of all ages and physical abilities. Using your middle or index finger on your dominant hand, locate the center of your forehead, then gently tap with moderate pressure, not so hard as to cause any discomfort, but just enough to create a light, perceptible vibration on the skin. The rhythm should be slow and steady, mirroring the natural cadence of calm breathing, and you should continue this for about 30 seconds to 1 full minute. As you tap, it's crucial to pair this physical action with deep, controlled breathing to enhance its effectiveness. Inhale slowly and deeply through your nose for a count of 4. Hold that breath gently for 2 seconds, and then exhale slowly and completely through your mouth for a count of 6. Repeating this breathing cycle at least 3 times while you continue tapping will significantly enhance the calming effect on your nervous system. When you consistently incorporate this practice into your nightly routine, something remarkable begins to happen. The mind starts to associate this gentle tapping with the transition to sleep, creating a powerful conditioned response that makes falling asleep increasingly easier over time. But this is just the beginning of our journey into better sleep through this ancient technique. Next, we'll explore the second critical tapping point, located at the temples, and discover how this area holds the key to releasing the physical tension that often keeps quality sleep frustratingly out of reach, especially for those of us who have passed the milestone of 60 years. As we continue our exploration of this powerful 3-point tapping technique for better sleep, let's now delve deeper into how each point works to transform your nightly rest and rejuvenate your mind and body. When you consistently incorporate this forehead tapping into your nightly routine, you'll begin to notice truly remarkable results. Your racing thoughts, those persistent worries about tomorrow's appointments or lingering concerns about family matters, will gradually start to settle. Your mind will quiet itself, like a pond whose ripples slowly fade after the wind ceases. Your body will naturally begin to relax, preparing itself for the deep, restorative sleep it desperately craves. Some individuals even report that after just a few moments of this gentle tapping practice, their eyelids begin to feel pleasantly heavy, and their natural, welcoming sleepiness washes over them without any other intervention whatsoever. This isn't mere coincidence or wishful thinking. It's your body's powerful natural self-regulating response, a remarkable capacity we often overlook in the rush and constant demands of our modern, fast-paced lives. Isn't it fascinating how our bodies retain this innate wisdom even as we age? Next, we turn our attention to the second key area in our sleep-enhancing sequence, your temples. These delicate, sensitive regions are located on either side of your forehead, positioned slightly towards your ears, where you can often feel a subtle pulse if you press gently. The temples are widely recognized as one of the most sensitive and intricate regions on the human face, housing an impressively dense network of nerves that connect directly to the central nervous system. Furthermore, this area is particularly rich in capillaries, those tiny, vital blood vessels that play a crucial role in circulation throughout the brain and face. For many older adults, waking up in the middle of the night with a start, or even beginning the day with that all too familiar sensation of a heavy head or a dull, persistent ache around the forehead or temples, is an unfortunately common experience that diminishes quality of life. This discomfort is often a telltale sign of accumulated mental fatigue, frequently exacerbated by or a direct result of poor quality sleep over an extended period. It's like carrying an invisible weight that makes every thought and movement require extra effort. Gently stimulating the temples through this tapping technique can be an incredibly effective way to ease this accumulated tension that has built up over hours, days, or even years. Beyond just relieving immediate physical discomfort, this gentle, rhythmic tapping also supports smoother circulation in the head, helping your brain to gradually unwind and transition more easily into the state of rest it requires for proper restoration and healing during sleep. To perform this temple tapping technique correctly and effectively, find a position, either sitting comfortably on the edge of your bed or lying down with proper support, where you feel completely at ease and supported. Place both hands gently on your temples, using the tips of your fingers. Typically, your middle or index finger will feel most natural and provide the right amount of pressure. Begin tapping lightly on both temples simultaneously. The absolute key here is to maintain a rhythm that is slow, soft, and consistently steady throughout the process. You are aiming to feel a light, pleasant vibration beneath the skin, not strong pressure or jarring taps that might actually increase tension rather than release it. Continue tapping each side continuously for approximately 30 to 40 seconds, allowing yourself to focus entirely on the sensation and nothing else. The most beneficial approach is often to tap both temples simultaneously, allowing the sensation of relaxation to slowly and evenly spread throughout your head like a calming wave washing away the day's accumulated stress. Picture this wave of relaxation flowing from your temples inward, dissolving tension as it moves through your mind. As with the forehead tapping we discussed earlier, it's highly recommended to pair this temple tapping action with deep, slow, intentional breathing. Inhale gently through your nose for a count of 4. Hold the breath for 1 to 2 seconds to allow oxygen to fully circulate, and then exhale slowly and completely through your mouth for 5 to 6 seconds. This powerful combination of rhythmic tapping and controlled breathing will help to calm your mind, slow down the whirlwind of your thoughts, and naturally ease the tiredness that often settles around your eyes and temples after a long day. Much like tapping the center of your forehead, this temple technique is far more than just a physical action or mechanical movement. It is a way of sending a clear, intentional message to your body, signaling that it is now time to rest and recuperate. Over time, as this becomes a consistent part of your nightly practice, it can create a beneficial conditioned reflex within your nervous system. Each time you tap your temples in this gentle, mindful manner, your body will learn to associate the sensation with preparing for relaxation, making it progressively easier to fall asleep quickly and stay asleep throughout the night. This conditioned response can be particularly helpful for older adults who often find a great deal of comfort, security, and stability in established, repeated routines. In these gentle, mindful movements, these simple taps that take mere minutes to perform, there lies an invaluable tool for maintaining a sense of peace and control over one's well-being, even as other aspects of health may feel increasingly unpredictable with advancing age. The third and final crucial point in this sleep-enhancing sequence is the back of the neck, specifically the area where the base of the skull meets the upper spine. This region is, without question, one of the most common places in the entire human body where tension tends to accumulate and stubbornly reside, especially in older adults. After decades of engaging in work, navigating life's countless challenges, and unconsciously carrying the weight of daily stress, this area often remains chronically tight and constricted without us even being fully aware of its condition. The complex network of muscles around the neck, shoulders, and upper back are constantly working, even as we sleep, to support the head, maintain our posture, and assist with essential movements like turning, bending, or looking upwards. However, when tension builds up in these hard-working muscles and they don't get the opportunity to properly relax and release, it can lead to a troubling cascade of uncomfortable symptoms, including persistent stiffness, dull headaches that resist treatment, and even significantly compromised sleep quality that medication alone cannot address. Beyond being a mere mechanical issue of muscle tightness, the back of the neck represents a critical anatomical junction in the human body, home to many important nerves and blood vessels that affect our overall well-being. These include vital branches extending from the cervical spine, essential pathways for blood flow to the brain, and sensory centers responsible for maintaining our balance and spatial awareness as we move through our daily activities. That is precisely why gently stimulating this area through proper tapping can achieve far more than just easing superficial muscle tension. It actively improves blood flow to the brain, releases deep-seated stress that may have accumulated over decades, and promotes a profound, full-body sense of relaxation. This is exactly what is needed to usher in the deep, restful, and truly restorative sleep that becomes increasingly elusive as we age. The method for tapping this area is wonderfully simple, but requires a consciously gentle touch to be most effective. Begin by sitting or lying down in a comfortable position, allowing your shoulders and neck to completely relax. You might even want to roll your shoulders backwards and forward a few times first to release any immediate tension. Using your fingers, ideally the middle, ring, and pinky fingers together for the right amount of coverage, lightly tap in a gentle arc, moving from the left side of your neck to the right, following the natural hairline just under the base of the skull. You can imagine your fingers are delicately drawing a little bridge behind your head, with each tap moving slowly and rhythmically across that imaginary bridge from one side to the other. The most important aspect here is to keep the rhythm soft, steady, and consistent, almost like the soothing beat of a lullaby that might have once rocked you to sleep as a child. There is absolutely no need to tap hard or apply significant pressure. The sensation should feel like a gentle, pleasant ripple under the skin, effectively activating the neck and upper back muscles without causing any pain or discomfort that might counteract the relaxation response you're trying to achieve. Each tapping session on the back of the neck should last for around 1 minute, long enough to release accumulated tension, but not so long that your arm becomes tired from the position. As you perform this tapping, be sure to combine it with slow, Deliberate breathing. Inhale deeply through your nose. Pause for a brief moment to fully experience the breath, and then exhale gently and completely, imagining that you're releasing not just air, but also the tension that may have been lodged in your neck and shoulders for years. When practiced together in sequence, forehead, temples, and the back of the neck, these 3 tapping points create a powerful ritual that signals to your body it's time to transition from the alertness of day to the deep restoration of night. The beauty of this technique lies not just in its effectiveness but in its simplicity and accessibility. No matter your age or physical condition, this gentle practice can become your nightly companion on the journey to better sleep and, consequently, better days, the power to transform your sleep quality, and by extension, your energy, mental clarity, and overall well-being, lies literally at your fingertips. All it takes is a few minutes each night to tap into this ancient wisdom that modern science is now beginning to validate. Why not try it tonight? Your body has been waiting for this simple signal to release the tension it's been holding, perhaps for years. If you found this information valuable and want to discover more natural, effective techniques to improve your health and vitality as you age, please hit the subscribe button below. Each week, we share practical, science-backed methods that can help you live your best life at any age. Join our community of wisdom seekers who are refusing to accept that aging must mean declining. Together, we're rewriting that story, one night of restful sleep at a time.